My name is John Passfield, and the title of this reading will be John and Mother Goose, Video 23, Nursery Rhymes Part 2. So here is my novella, John and Mother Goose, Carnival of Tales. John and Mother Goose on the cover, surrounded by what I call mythical creatures. They're characters from the nursery rhymes. While driving his granddaughter home from daycare, John suddenly finds himself standing in the midway at a carnival of Mother Goose fairy tales. He is greeted by Jack, of Jack and Jill fame, who tells John that Mother Goose is expecting him, as she has a role for him to play. But what does Mother Goose want? Why does she think John is a writer of detective stories? And why, when she meets John, does she greet him almost as a long-lost son? And for that matter, why do so many of the fairy tale characters have different stories that they want John to write for them instead of the ones in which they have lived for hundreds of years? John's not a mythical creature. He's only human after all. But can he save the Mother Goose Carnival? Can he solve the mystery of the vanishing fairy tales? Now, in part 1 of this topic, I read about 15 nursery rhymes that are printed at the back of this novella. In this video, part 2, I'll read about 15 more nursery rhymes and then share something interesting with you. As I read these verses, I have a guessing game for you. All but one of the verses which I will read are taken from the Mother Goose Book of Nursery Rhymes on the internet. All are timeless and time-honored except one. That one I wrote myself and included in the verses that I printed at the back of this novella. After I read them, I'll tell you which one it is and talk about the creative development of a fictional book that is not being written yet. So, let's go to page 91. That's at the back of this novella. And read some nursery rhymes. Okay, Old King Cole is very familiar. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddler's tree. That would be a bowl of wine. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, close the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, a good fat hen. 11, 12, dig and delve. I used to wonder what delve meant, but it means the same thing. Search for, I guess. 13, 14, maids a-courting. 15, 16, maids in the kitchen. 17, 18, maids in waiting. 19, 20, my plate is empty. Well, the rhymes kind of faded away in that one. Pat a cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can. Prick it and pat it and mark it with the G and put it in the oven for Teddy and me. Another one, very familiar from my childhood. Peas porridge hot, peas porridge cold, peas porridge in the peas porridge in the pot, 9 days old. Some like it hot, some like it cold, some like it in the pot, 9 days old. Here's another one my granddaughter used to chant. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little Johnny wants to play. Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross to see a fine lady upon a white horse. Rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. She shall have music wherever she goes. See-saw, Marjorie Daw, Jenny shall have a new master. She shall have but a penny a day because she can't work any faster. So a housemaid, my grandmother, my dad's mother, was a housemaid in East London, England, about 1900 or so. Tom, Tom, the piper's son, stole a pig, and away he run. Simple Simon met a pieman going to the fair. Said Simple Simon to the pieman, let me taste your ware. Said the pieman to Simple Simon, show me first your penny. Said Simple Simon to the pieman, indeed, I have not any. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Wasn't that a pretty dish to set before the king? Another one. There was a crooked man, and he went a crooked mile, and he found a crooked sixpence against a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat, which caught a crooked mouse, and they all lived together in a little crooked house. Here's one of the most familiar ones of all. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. That's kind of a Valentine's Day nursery rhyme. The witch was selling dreams for a penny. Poor Norbert told the witch he hadn't any. The dream, he said, was that he would be taller. For that, she said, you would have to pay $1. Here's another, maybe vying with Roses Are Red for the most popular, the most well-known. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. So those are probably the two most familiar. Up hill and down dale, butter is made in every vale. And if Nancy Cook is a good girl, she shall have a spouse and make butter and naan before her old grandmother grows a young man and becomes a young man. Boys and girls come out to play. The moon does shine as bright as day. Leave your supper and leave your sleep and meet your playfellows in the street. Come with a whoop and come with a call and come with a good will or not at all. Up the ladder and down the wall, a halfpenny loaf, or eightpenny loaf, I guess, will serve us all. You find milk and I'll find flour, and we'll have pudding in half an hour. So I'll stop there, although there's more nursery rhymes in this book, and many, many more on the internet, of course, under Mother Goose Nursery Rhymes. Before I read these nursery rhymes, I said that most of them are authentic. That is to say that they're found in the Mother Goose book of nursery rhymes on the internet and are hundreds or perhaps thousands of years old, that they are timeless and time-honored, and that they have no known writers. The exception, which you might have guessed, is this one on page 100. The witch was selling dreams for a penny. Poor Norbert told the witch he hadn't any. His dream, he said, was to be taller. For that, she said, he would have to pay $1. To go along with the text of this novella, I collected verses from the Mother Goose book on the internet and sent them to my publisher. And when I was correcting the proofs, I realized that I'd repeated a verse. At first, I thought I would look for another one on the internet, but decided instead to write one myself. So the nursery rhyme about Norbert is not time-honored and is not written by an unknown person. It's written by me. When I sent this book to my sister, she guessed correctly which one was not authentic. She said that the clue for her was the mention of $1. And as most of these rhymes are British and certainly European, $1 would not be expected to appear. So, good reasoning, I think. Now, the reason my sister had to guess was something that interested me when I was researching these nursery rhymes for the writing of this novella, John and Mother Goose. I went to the Mother Goose book of nursery rhymes to find nursery rhymes that I was familiar with, but on reading that book, I was amazed not only at how many nursery rhymes there were, many hundreds, but also at how many nursery rhymes I did not know. So, I've often said in these video talks that I'm promoting a book that's not for sale. Obviously, my novels and novellas are for sale, but when I read from one of the books that I post for free on my website, then I'm promoting a book that is not for sale. The point being that if you click on the cover icon on my website, johnpassfield.ca, you can read that book for free. Well, here's another innovation. In this video reading, I'm promoting a book that has not even been written. After I'd written this novella, John and Mother Goose, I kept brooding about the fact that there were so many nursery rhymes that I had never heard of, neither when I was a child nor as an adult. So that thought led to an idea for which I now have enough notes that I know I can write another novella. I even have a title and a cover for this future novella, and here they are. So these are the notes. I'll just let you see how thick they are. This is not a book. It's notes for a book. And here, is the cover. I drew a diagram and had my son Craig create a cover. John and the near miss, a handful of uncut diamonds. And there's John, surrounded by creatures who have diamond-shaped bodies. So I'll explain all that as I go on. So, John and the near miss. a handful of uncut diamonds. Perhaps it's better that I don't say a lot about this future novella, but what I will mention is the basic premise. Excuse me. The premise is that many more nursery rhyme characters auditioned for Mother Goose than she chose to put on stage in her Carnival of Tales. These characters, who Mother Goose has decided are not mythical enough, whose verses are not mythical enough, don't have the time-honored and timeless resonance to make their characters be recognizable as mythical. So, these near-mythical characters get the idea that if they bring John to their location, perhaps he can help them to improve their nursery rhyme verses to the point that where they will change from being near-myth nursery rhymes, ones which don't have the timeless and time-honored resonance to appeal to human beings across centuries and across cultures, into fairy tale myths. So can John make near myths into myths? And if John can do this successfully, these characters reason that they will be able to change from the category of near mythicals to the category of mythicals. So nursery rhyme characters who are familiar are mythicals. Nursery rhyme characters who are not familiar are near mythicals, but don't quite make it. So, number one, will this be a frivolous novella, good for a pleasant read and a few laughs, and then have no further interest? Or number two, will it be about the timeless urge that all people seem to have to make changes in their situations, to move across social barriers, and to move across geographical barriers in search of something that is other than what they have? So will it be silly, or will it be serious, or maybe it'll be both? Well, I don't think I'm all that daring in announcing I'm going to write a novella on a certain topic, because I never start to write a novel or novella full-time unless I have enough notes that I know that I have a very solid basis for the writing of the future work of literature. And you'll notice, of course, that I've cast the topic of the literary depth of this novella as a question mark. So even that isn't necessarily going out on a limb. If it's silly, okay. If it's serious, okay. If it's both, great. This is March of 2024. I plan to start writing this novella full-time next month in April 2024. And perhaps in future, you will find this novella on Amazon and on my publisher's website. You'll find a planning notebook, which is that one, but not finished, and a journal on my website, just as you can do right now with its predecessor, John and Mother Goose, The Carnival Tales. So all I can say at this point is stay tuned. So this has been my novella, John and Mother Goose, The Carnival of Tales. It's found on Amazon. If you're interested in more information, it's found on my publisher's website, roxmillspress.com. For more information on my website, as I've mentioned, I post all my planning notebooks for free access, and I post all my journals, which are reflective journals, for free access. Just go to johnpassfield.ca, click on the cover icon of this or any of my books, any of my planning notebooks or journals, and you'll get to read those books for free. Lastly, I'll say thank you for watching this video.